Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Pure Digital Passion Podcast with me, Moses Kemibaro. My guest today is Fahrettin Oylum from Teknopalas, also Doğuş Teknoloji from Turkey, and we are here to discuss the IoT future of Kenya and Africa. He's the co-founder of Teknopalas, a company that operates in the IoT space, also involved with Digital Technologies Business Council, and is an executive at Doğuş Technology and Serial Technology. He's also a serial technology entrepreneur. So welcome, Fahrettin, to this Pure Digital Passion podcast.
Thank you very much for your invitation. It's going to be very nice talk with you today. Thank you.
Great. So I'd like to start from the beginning. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what sort of inspired you to start Teknopalas, which is obviously part of the Doğuş Group back in 2005.
Thank you, Moses. It's a pleasure to be here. Back in 2005, the concept of the Internet of Things was still emerging, and RFID was considered as a niche technology at that time. What inspired me to found Teknopalas was a deep belief that the physical world could and should be connected to the digital one. Every object has a story, and technologies like RFID allows us to read those stories in real time. At the time, there were very few companies globally exploring in the space, probably fewer than 50 worldwide, and in Turkey there were no one in this field. So we proudly became the globally first company in Turkey to focus on this technology and one of the first 50 companies in global market. Over the past 20 years, we have carried out the pioneering spirit of this technology. Today, Teknopalas develops solutions that serve multiple industries from logistics and manufacturing to healthcare and retail. That's why we define ourselves as sector agnostic, but technology driven. So our goal has always been to develop cutting edge products that create measurable impact regardless of industry. So when we look back, we take great pride to having helped shape and early days of IoT and RFID innovation, both in Turkey and on global stage.
Fantastic. So you've launched several ventures over the years, including the RFID market and Lora. And what sort of things make these all connect together when you think about these businesses and the entrepreneurial approach that you've had over the years?
Also, that's really a good question, actually. While RFID market and Lora may seem very different at first glance, they actually share a common origin and philosophy rooted in our journey of Technopalas. Both ventures were born from a deep understanding of real-world challenges in the IoT and RFID landscape, and from our desire to build practical and scalable solutions. Lora, for example, started as a spin-off from Teknopalas. Our goal was to create a hardware-agnostic IoT platform with the Lora, one that could unify technology like RFID, Bluetooth, Lora, ultra-wideband, and radar technologies under a single cloud-based architecture. What made it special is that we didn't just launch a product, we built a team from our inside. Some of our most experienced engineers who had grown with us in Teknopalas became the core of Lora, and together we created new success story. Today, Lora is a versatile platform used in healthcare, smart cities, tourism, factoring, and logistics. It empowers clients to adopt advanced sensor technologies quickly, efficiently, and without being locked into any one vendor or device type. This is a very big advantage that we offer to our customer with Lora. This ability to simplify complexity is a key part of my entrepreneurial approach. On the other hand, the RFID market was built to address a very specific pain point, finding reliable, high-quality RFID and IoT hardware. This is very crucial point for developers in the market nowadays. We realized that both developers and end users needed a centralized place to access tested, ready to use, and previously experienced components and some hardwares if they want to have some RFID or IoT projects. Today, with over 8,000 products listed in RFID market, so this is one of our biggest advantage in the market now. So we created world's largest platform in this field, serving customers from many regions who use it to discover, compare, and deploy hardware for their own projects. So this is the story behind Bakelor and RFID market.
That's fantastic. Sounds very impressive, when you talk about, the global reach and, obviously it's being used in many places. Which brings me to the conversation around your partnership or the fact that you're part of the Doğuş Technology group. I'd like to understand, how did this collaboration come about and how has this helped shape your strategic direction as a business?
Yeah, actually, joining forces with Doğuş Technology has been a pivotal step in our journey, not just as a company, but as a vision. So this collaboration came about through shared belief in the transformative power of technology and mutual desire to scale that impact globally, especially across emerging markets like Africa. So Doğuş Technology brings a unique strength to the table, deep operational experience in African central continents. They are very deep, actually, experience in the continent with other companies in their group, and strong network of trusted local partners they brought us. As Technopalas, actually, we bring 20 years of specialized knowledge in IoT and RFID technologies. So when we combine these strengths, we saw the potential to the more than just deliver projects. We saw the chance to co-create long-term value in regions where technology can truly be changed. Together, we are now pursuing ambitious goals in sectors such as logistics, agriculture, healthcare, and smart infrastructure. Africa for us is not just a new market, it's a landscape of possibilities. This is very, very important for me, actually. I can name like a landscape of possibilities Africa. With our joint capabilities, we believe we can help accelerate digital transformation by offering scalable and locally relevant and technically advanced solutions. So this partnership will going to shape our strategic direction in a powerful way.
The next question I have for you is that, obviously with Doğuş Technology and your business, you are known for pioneering work in UHF RFID, RTLS, NFC, and of course IoT. And I'd just like to understand, maybe what's your research and development approach that makes you different from other global players in this space? And I think one of the things you've already mentioned is that when you look at Africa, you see that there's a relevant fit around maybe your products, how they work, possibly the pricing, that makes it more relevant to a market like ours.
Yeah, actually at Teknopalas, our R&D approach, I'm just trying to explain what is the position of our R&D culture here in Turkey. We have actually selected as the most innovative company in this industry in Turkey for 2 years. So at Teknopalas, our R&D approach has always been driven by one principle. We don't just follow technology, we anticipate where it's going. That's why actually we started this journey at the beginning of this story. From the early days of RFID and today's complex RTLS, NFC, and multi-protocol IoT environments, we have positioned ourselves not only as a solution provider, but as a technology maker. So another key differentiator is our sector-independent mindset, we can call it. Many players in this space, in this area, in this industry, specialize in one vertical, like logistics or healthcare. But from day one, we have built modular, configurable technologies that can be applied across industries. This flexibility has enabled us to deploy solutions in everything from hospitals to airports, you can name it. So our culture matters. We have stayed hungry, curious, and passionate. Even after nearly 20 years in this field, we still approach every challenge like a startup with fresh eyes, agile approach, and a strong desire to create something that hasn't been done before.
Fantastic. So I'd like to, maybe you can take us through some of the really innovative projects or possibly some of the patents that you have that sort of exemplify your capabilities and impact as an organization.
Well, as I just mentioned, innovation has always been at the heart of what we do at Technopalas. To date, we hold 8 officially registered patents, and if we include technologies we've intentionally opened up to the industry for wider adoption of those technologies, that number rises to 12. For us, innovation is not just about ownership, it's about shaping ecosystem. So one of our most impactful contribution was back in 2008 when we pioneered the first UHF RFID in library systems. At that time, it was an unconventional idea. Most believed high-frequency RFID was the only option for libraries, but we saw the long-term benefits of UHF RFID in this area, so including better reading range and inventory management capability and flexibility, and also cost-effective side. So we created new solution, especially for libraries. And nowadays, it's a standard in the market, and hundreds and thousands of libraries in the world they are using this model. So another example is a patented communication protocol that we developed for our IoT beacons. As the number of sensors in IoT environments exploded, traditional data collection methods became too slow and expensive, and we want to expand it to the market that we can replace some standard passive RFID technologies. So we designed a lightweight and high-speed protocol that allows thousands of sensors to communicate and process the data immediately in real time. This protocol that we created reduced infrastructure costs, and it helps to reach large-scale, cost-efficient IoT deployment projects. So it's really now being used widely in industries. So those innovations are some of examples that reflects our mindset, not just building for today, but anticipating tomorrow and making sure we deliver technology that's both scalable and meaningful.
Great. So your organization has over 450 professionals and operations spanning Turkey, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and of course now you're coming into sub-Saharan Africa and Kenya. Can you tell us about your expansion goals and what you're hoping to achieve in this region?
Well, our journey across Turkey, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia also has equipped us with the experience, scale, and confidence to take on new high-impact regions. And Sub-Saharan Africa is a key part of our next chapter. This is actually our strategy. Among these, Kenya stands out as a strategic hub with a dynamic tech ecosystem and growing appetite for scalable digital transformation, especially in areas like logistics, public services, agriculture, and smart infrastructure are the things that we think expand in African region. So our expansion goal is not just to enter the market, but build long-term sustainable collaborations with local partners, combining our 20 years of RFID and IoT expertise with the deep on-the-ground knowledge that only local players can provide. So we strongly believe that co-creation is the future of innovation in emerging markets.
And also, as we think about, as you're coming into this region, next week you're having the IoT Summit, which is going to be held on the 19th of June here in Nairobi. And I would like to maybe ask you, what can the audience and the people who will attend this event expect from Doğuş Technologies as well as Technopalas in terms of your different offerings?
Actually, we are incredibly excited for upcoming event in Nairobi, and we are preparing something truly special as Teknopalas in collaboration with Doğuş Technology. We will be delivering series of presentations focusing on 4 key themes, each rooted in real-world innovation and over 20 years of field experience. Attendees can expect to see practical examples drawn from hundreds of RFID and IoT projects we have implemented across different industries, different sectors. But beyond the presentations and slides and case studies, we are planning to take in one step further, and we will be doing a live virtual tour of the Teknopalas RFID IoT Experience Center, which is actually the only one in our region. This is the first and largest of its kind in the EMEA region. We have a very huge area for RFID and IoT test and some user experience area we created here. So we are going to create a real-time live demo here to show our partners there. So from smart logistics to healthcare tracking and retail automation, industrial monitoring, and those kind of details, we are going to be able to show some demonstration to our visitors there. So our goal is to show not just what these technologies do, but how they can fundamentally transform daily operations, improve efficiency of their operations, and enable smarter decision making.
Can you also tell us a little bit more about your partnership with Techmind Global, who I believe are your local partners or representatives here, and how you're looking to work with them to drive localization and growth in the East African region, of course, in Kenya, but again, also with the summit coming up next week on the 19th of June. How does this partnership work exactly?
Well, actually, our partnership with Techmind Global is a cornerstone of our regional strategy. And for good reason, Techmind is one of the most established and respected technology providers in East Africa, with a solid track record of delivering high-impact digital transformation projects across multiple verticals. And their deep understanding of local market dynamics and also strong technical foundation makes them an ideal partner for us and Doğuş Technology as we enter in the region. One of the greatest challenges when entering a new market is not just deploying technology, so far we have experienced in different regions, but localizing is very key point here. So culturally, operationally, and economically, Techmind excels in this area. So what excites us most is that the collaboration is not just about business, it's about building ecosystem. Together, we are aiming to not only deliver advanced IoT and RFID solutions, but also train, empower, and collaborate with local talents and institutions. We believe that this joint approach with TechMind is going to combine Technopalas with 2 decades of technology leadership, Doğuş Technology's regional experience, and TechMind's local strength. It will enable us to achieve the ambitious goal we have outlined for Kenya and the broader East African market that we are aiming.
So when you think about markets like Kenya, what sort of trends and applications in IoT excite you the most?
Actually, real-time data creating, like you said, it's an emerging market. And in emerging markets, we have some advantages and some disadvantages. But emerging markets like Kenya are incredibly exciting because of the rapid digital transformation and the unique challenge they present. What excites me most are IoT applications in smart agriculture, where sensor data can drastically improve crop yields and resource efficiency, and also smart solutions from traffic management to public safety, and healthcare IoT that enables patient tracking and patient monitoring, newborn baby monitoring, and those kind of really key benefits that we are planning to bring to the market with the products as a game changer we created here in our market.
Fantastic. And then I also noted that your portfolio really spans IoT infrastructure, real-time analytics dashboards like dboard, AI and ML integration, as well as cybersecurity. What are some of the capabilities that are transforming industries in practical terms using all of these different approaches towards the solutions that you're deploying?
At Teknopalas and Doğuş Technology, we believe data is the new infrastructure. So our IoT system don't just collect information, they transform it into actionable insights through real-time dashboard like dboard integrated with AI and machine learning technologies. So that means smarter decision making in healthcare, logistics, smart cities, and manufacturing, whether it's predictive maintenance, tracking, or optimizing operational efficiency. Those combined with our robust cybersecurity frameworks, we ensure these innovations are both impactful and secure. Ultimately, we are helping industries move from being reactive to proactive stage and make it intelligent in how they operate.
Great, great. Now, one of the things you do is you serve an advisory role both in the DIK and the Turkish digital economy. What do you see as some of the deeper value collaborations that you can have between Turkey and African technology ecosystems?
Actually, Turkey really has a big strategy for Africa. Nowadays, probably Turkish Airlines is one of the biggest airline company who is flying to African countries. So as personally and also as Technopalas, we firmly believe that knowledge grows by sharing. And Turkey's rapid digital transformation especially over the last 20 years, has given us valuable experience, which we are eager to bring to Africa and bring our partners in Africa. So deeper collaboration between Turkish and African technology ecosystem means leveraging complementary strengths. So Teknopalas' expertise in IoT, RFID, and digital innovation combined with Africa's vibrant market and youthful young population in Kenya is really very important from our perspective. So as the kind of a technology decision maker in Turkey and also as the founder of some technology companies in Turkey, we believe that the partnership, growing together with partnership, not just selling or buying products, growing together is our strategy.
Also, as you prepare to engage with the Kenyan market, when we see you next week and going forward at the summit, what are your expectations and ambitions for the future of Doğuş Technology in Kenya and Africa, as well as for Technopalas?
Well, we are a group. We are coming there as a group, Doğuş and Teknopalas. We are a group that values long-term partnership and sustainable growth. So our approach to Kenya is rooted in long-term strategic vision, aiming not just to enter the market, but to build lasting projects and collaborations with local partners. From this point of view, our ambition is for Teknopalas and Doğuş Technology to become trusted technology enablers across Kenya and Africa, driving digital transformation through IoT, RFID, and some other innovative solutions tailored to local needs. We can name it like the source of the next generation technologies, which is coming maybe in 2 or 3 years' time. We see huge potential in contributing to Africa's tech ecosystem, especially the population of youth is really impressive for us, and also growing together with the communities we serve. This is our strategy, or what we name it.
No, it's critical. And I think the fact that you're talking about the labor and also the young people and transferring those skill sets so that they can play a strong role in using the latest IoT technologies, I think is very important.
Yeah. Because actually, most of our products, the young people, even the high school students, they can create their own IoT projects. So we create them a platform that they can create their innovations. So this is very important for us.
Great. So as we come to the end of our conversation, I think the last question I have for you is this. You've done this in so many other markets. You're incredibly successful as a business operating in these areas of IoT and RFID. What are the things that you'd like to share with Kenyan business and technology leaders, as well as decision makers, such as CEOs, who are considering adopting IoT and automation technologies? What should they know? What are the pitfalls? How can they do this well without falling into some of the traps that you might have seen in the experience that you've had?
Well, this is a really good question. Nowadays, we are now all watching or trying to adopt in AI revolution. So the world itself is preparing for AI transformation, like maybe 200 or 300 years ago, the first industrial revolution. We are not in stage of AI transformation, which is changing everything in our lives. So many have already started this journey, and those are private companies, public institutions, schools, hospitals, banks, financial, other institutions. Many of them, they want to know how to get adaptation to the transformation. So like just as energy was the fuel for the first industrial revolution, today data is the fuel powering the AI revolution. So this is what we believe. So at Technopalas, since day one, we say we are the source of big data. IoT and RFID are absolutely key players in this transformation. So my message to Kenya business and technology leaders and decision makers is let's manage the transformation together and position ourselves ahead in this global competition. The countries which has enough data and industries which has enough data are going to be much more easy to adopt those AI transformation into their institutions. So with our IoT and RFID solutions, products, everything, we aim to help you increase your competitiveness, efficiency, and security. driving sustainable growth to your organization and your country or region or the things that you give value. So this is the message that I can give as the last word.
Well, Fahrettin, thank you so much for joining us on this Pure Digital Passion podcast. I think your journey and innovations through Doğuş Technology and also Teknopalas are really exciting. I'm so excited to see the demos that we're going to have at the IoT Summit next week on the 19th of June. We're also delighted that Techmind Global has managed to build this partnership with yourselves and is bringing the very latest and most cutting-edge IoT solutions to this market in Kenya. And also you choosing Kenya as your springboard into the rest of Africa is something that we truly appreciate. But most importantly, I think we're looking forward to seeing the incredible technologies and the different use cases, whether it's healthcare, whether it's retail, whether it's agriculture, across the board, that for the very first time we'll be able to understand the possibilities of automation using the technologies that will come into Kenya and Africa. And to our audience, I think just to let you know that we're still taking registrations for the IoT Summit on the 19th of June 2025. So when you watch this video, we'll have a link there where you can register. And I think really to try and see the possibilities of IoT within the context of Kenya and Africa based on an organization like Doğuş Technology and also Teknopalas. And Fahrettin himself is going to be here in Nairobi. And I think we should really look forward to that opportunity to see what is possible. So thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. And Fahrettin, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. It was very nice to talk to you, and hope to see you when I go there to Kenya. It's going to be first time for me, and I hope it's not going to be last one.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And that's it for now. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you. Have a good day.